Today we are going to do the passage of a square to another consecutive square. So you already know our squares. Now I thought I actually brought the squares home, but apparently I didn't. So I have a 5 square made out of 5 fives. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know that 5 squared equals what? 5 squared is the same as 5 times 5, which equals 25. Okay? Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to figure out how can we turn this 5 square into a 6 square. Okay? So, if I add another 5 here, does that make a 6 square? No, it's 6 groups of 5 now. And if I put a 5 over on this side, it still doesn't quite make a 6 square because I'm missing one bead right here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, and then I have this 5 plus 1 makes 6. So I have 6 groups of 6. So 6 squared is the same as 6 times 6, which equals, did you say it? That equals 36, right? Okay, so this part we've done before. We know 6 squared is the same as 6 times 6 and equals 36. So now we need to figure out the formula for moving from one square to the next square. These two are now the same. Okay, so I'm going to turn my paper, well, I'm just going to draw a line under here and use the bottom of the paper. Okay, so we started with 5 squared, right? And we need to make this 5 squared turn into this. And so what did we add? We took 5 squared plus 5 plus 5 plus we need to fill in that corner because we have a 5 and a 5 and we need to turn both of those 5s into 6s plus 1 equals. Okay, so this is what you'll be writing. 5 squared, that's what we started with, and then here's what we added, plus. Sorry, my plus sign is a little strange, this marker is not the best. 5 plus 5 plus 1 equals. And if I add that all together, I get 5 squared, we already knew was 25, equals 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 more is, whoops, I just put 25 equals, 25 plus. All right, 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 more is 11, so 25 plus 11. So do you see how I got my 25 from here, 5 squared, and over here I got 5 plus 5 plus 1 equals 11. So now I need to add 25 plus 11, and that is 36, which is the same as 6 squared. Okay? So what I would like you to do is from 1 to 10, and I can only fit up to 7 on my paper. Okay, so what I would like you to do is on your paper, I want you to write from 1 to 10. Now, like I said, I can only fit to 7 on my paper, but from 1 squared to 10 squared. Then I'm going to show you with the example of 5 that we just did. 5 squared, and I drew an arrow, turns into 6 squared by add 5 plus 5 plus 1, which equals 11. Okay? So you're just going to write down, what do you have to add to 5 squared in order to get 6 squared? You have to take 5 squared and you need to add 5 plus 5 plus 1, which equals 11. So you're going to write down for each square what you're going to add to go to the next square. So 1 squared to 2 squared, 2 squared to 3 squared, 3 squared to 4 squared. Okay, so I'm going to do one more with you because since you don't have the beads, it'll be easier if you can see the pattern on here. So let's pick 3 squared to 4 squared. So 3 squared, and we're going to turn it into a 4 squared. Okay, so I have 3 squared right here, and I need to turn it into a 4 square. So I need to add a row on the bottom and a row on the side, and then I'm missing that one in the middle because it's still 3 and 3, so I need to turn those 3s into 4s. And it's much easier when you have an actual square to look at, so I apologize that I did not grab that from school. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 4s. And so what did I add to my 3 square? I added 3 plus 3 plus 1. So 3 squared to 4 squared, I add 3 plus 3 plus 1. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So to get from 3 squared to 4 squared, I need to add 7. Okay, now do you notice the pattern here? To get from 3 squared to 4 squared, I add 3 plus 3 plus 1. 3 plus 3 plus the extra 1. To get from 5 squared to 6 squared, I added 5 plus 5 plus 1. So I'm assuming that you'll be able to figure out the pattern for the rest of these. If you're not sure, let me know. You can draw these on paper, and I'll show you an example of that since you don't have the beads with you. So if I was going to make my 3 squared, okay, you can draw it out. There's my 3 squared. Now I need to turn it into a 4 squared. So I'm going to put it down a little bit more. I'm going to add 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and 1. So, and you might want to do that in another color so that you can see, here's my square and here's how many you added. 3 plus 3 plus 1. Okay, so if you need to do that for your other squares, this would be the easiest way for you to figure it out. Right, if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to meet with you. Otherwise, you got this.